Hey, good night, everybody. How y'all doing? Y'all give me just a second. I'm trying to pull up some information real quick. But how y'all doing? Yep, I'm still here, y'all. I'm still here. Give me a second. I'm working with two government phones right now. This shit is frustrating. I burnt the data up on these bitches. I just got one from my brother yesterday, one from my neighbor today. I done burnt the data up on these mugs already. To the point this one is not even letting me access anything. But how y'all doing this evening, man? This night, late night, going into another day almost. This your boy Rod Thomas Jr. and this is the real news behind the news. Oh yeah, the day is May 14th, Friday, 2021. And there's a lot going on in America, in the world, and probably in your neighborhood. Y'all give me a second, man. I'm working with a fucked up ass government phone. Two government phones. I got two phones, ain't there one on one for shit. Y'all give me a second. I'm trying to pull this up. Hey, if y'all hear me, leave comments, please. Most importantly, give us subject matter to talk about. Cause really, I ain't got nothing to talk about. I'm just here to let y'all know I ain't going nowhere. I mean, again, things have been crazy and very hectic in my personal life over the last 2 weeks, which has caused me not to even be able to attempt to do a show. I apologize for that. I really do. I'm sincerely sorry. But I'm here tonight to let you all know that I'm still here because I was finally able to get access to the internet today, and I checked analytics. Man, don't y'all know we done had almost 50 new subscribers just in the last 3 weeks to this channel, which is a blessing. To all you new subscribers, welcome. Sit back, buckle up, and get ready for the ride. Now, I also said I wasn't gonna do too much cussing no more, but it's really fucking hard to stop fucking cussing, man. So I'm really keep it in my mind to really stop cussing. But again, that shit is hard, man. So right now, I really don't have a topic. There is a couple of things we can talk about, and I want to really stress and emphasize the fact that you all need to pay attention to what's going on over in Israel right now with the Palestinians. Now, I don't want to be a sensationalist or sensationalize this situation. Definitely don't want to be an alarmist type person. But this situation that's going on between the Israelis, the Israeli government, and the Palestinian people over there right now, man, Israel is bombing the shit out of Gaza Strip, the West Bank right now. This has the potential to become a regional conflict, and maybe, again, I say this with caution, not to try to, be an extremist, but it potentially maybe has the potential to draw in the United States and Russia and China, because right now it's going ham over there. Basically, no matter what the mainstream media tells y'all, this is what really happened. Now, you all aware that a couple of weeks back, it was Ramadan. And that's one of the Muslims' holiest months. The Palestinian and other Islamic worshippers were worshiping in the mosque. I don't know how to pronounce it. So they was worshiping in that mosque, the Islamic mosque, on one of their Ramadan holy days. And the Israeli IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, came in there firing rubber bullets, tear gas for no reason at all. Literally terrorizing these worshipers. Now, y'all know I'm not a religious man, but there's just certain things you don't do. You don't go into a church, a synagogue, or a mosque shooting, man. These supposed to be peaceful people. But the Israeli Defense Force went up in their main and basically handled those folks real bad. Now, you have to really understand what's going on over there in that area. I'm not going to say too much because I notice every time I do a video talking about the government of Israel, that shit get pulled off YouTube. They're going to label, anytime you speak, I'm just kidding. Anytime you speak the truth about what's going on in Israel, they're going to try to shut you down and really try to punish you. And the first thing they're going to say is anti-Semitic. Well, don't you think that's awful hypocritical when the Palestinians are the original? They're more Semitic than the people who claim to be the Jews that's over in Israel right now. Again, I don't want to get too deep, but the truth is what it is. Y'all record the download the video because they probably gonna take it offline. I mean, they probably gonna give me another strike because they don't want you talking about Israel. You know why? Because the motherfuckers control your government. Do you think your American politicians really run this country? No. They run this country at the behest of their Israeli masters, bro. And right now, what's going on over there in Israel, the IDF, Israeli Defense Force, is handing them up for the Palestinians bad. They're over there bombing the shit out of these people right now, talking about they're trying to hit Hamas targets. Man, but you are indiscriminately, you're saying you hit specific targets, but you're bombing 150 specific sites. And you're killing and destroying life and property over there, I mean, in exponential numbers. Because again, you're not going to see this on regular TV. If they do show you on regular TV, you know they're going to show you? They're going to show you those damn Palestinians are at again over there throwing rocks at these Israeli soldiers. All the Israelis want to live in peace. But how you going to want to live in peace when you stole them people motherfucking land, bro? Y'all stole them people land, rewrote history, because really y'all from the southern part of Russia, y'all called Khazarian Jews. They're from a place called Khazar. And what happened, I'm just going to give y'all a real game. What happened, at one point, you had the war between Islam and Christianity. Now, Islam was the most dominant force on the planet in no time. This is about 300 years ago. Can't put it on a specific time because it's just off the spread of my head. But anyway, this portion of Russia, because up in northern Russia, the rest of Russia, you had the Russian Orthodox Church. Then in the south, you had Islam. This little area called Khazar and other places was caught up in the middle of this war. So in order to escape or have no plausibility of no connection to the war, in order to basically just get away scot-free and didn't have nothing to do with it, they took on the Jewish faith upon themselves. Now, when you go back out through history, like when Hitler, man, and all them motherfuckers there are coming on down from the czars of Russia on down, one reason why these people were always persecuted because they were shifty, not judging nobody, but they were crafty, not trying to put no bad light on nobody, but they were sneaky, not trying to disrespect them, but they were full of shit. Plain and simple. Everywhere they went, they somehow gained financial strongholds in those countries. This is the history of those people there right now who claim to be Jews. They stole the Jewish faith for themselves to protect them from being annihilated in the middle of the war against Islamic Christianity. Then when you go and look at recent history, how they migrated westward. They started going further and further west till they wound up in Germany and Europe. And then Hitler, unfortunately, did what he did to them. But no matter what they say about the Holocaust, the Jewish Holocaust, what about the Black Holocaust that took place in America when you had over 100 million motherfuckers die? You had, they say they killed 5-6 million Jews. Okay, that's tragic, that's sad. But how many Negroes didn't make it from the trip to Africa on the Middle Passage? And there's three of y'all, I know it's late, we probably not going to get a lot of people watching at this moment, but if you three that's here right now can share this video, it might bring some people that's out there, because I know on the East Coast, it's 12:30, Mountain Time is 10:30, even on the West Coast, it's 9:30. People will either sleep, or they getting their party on, or they doing the freaky deaky. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all hit that like button, man. Please hit the share button also. Because really, I don't have that much time. I don't even know how I got off deep into this subject, but maybe this was meant for me to do this. I just want to tell y'all, I'm back. Please hit the cash out because we got a need. But let me go ahead and finish breaking this story down. Now, as these people who really from Khazar, the southern part of Russia, that's why they call them the Russian Jews, they spread westward. As they went along, they took a lot of economic and financial power with them to the point that they start controlling all your banking systems through usury. Same thing the Bible tells you is a sin that God hates the most is usury, meaning if you let somebody borrow some money, you charge them interest. This is how they was able to get in control of your financial situation. I'm going to show y'all some real game. It's pertinent to the situation. But Nathan, the Rothschild family, I know y'all heard about the Rothschild. Do y'all realize that the Rothschild alone, that family alone, is worth more than the combined wealth of the rest of the world? They make up half the world's wealth. So when I tell you, you think you watching, you got all these channels to choose from on cable TV, you got all these sources to look at, listen to on the radio, all these different movie studios, all these different social media platforms. Guess what? Really, you might have tens of thousands of platforms of media. There's only 4 or 5 people on this planet control them all. Yeah. So really, you think that you have access to the world's knowledge and wisdom? No, you are actually limited into what you can hear, what you can see, and what you allow to study. If you follow these mainstream platforms, because they're only controlled by 4 or 5 people, bruh. All these tens of thousands of forms of entertainment is only controlled by 4 or 5 people, bruh. And these are the people that came from Khazar Russia, came to Israel after 1944. Israel became a nation 44 or 46. Israel became a nation because they swindled their way into getting the American government, the European governments, to insist that Israel be created. And these people who really came from Russia, called themselves Jews just to avoid being annihilated, got all this financial power, now was able to leverage themselves. Well, they went over there and took a whole nother motherfucking people who rightfully belong on their land. You want to know how a simple reason why you know the Palestinian was there before them people? Go back to the story of your Bible, the woman at the well. Y'all remember the woman at the well? She was a Palestinian. And where was she? In fucking Israel. Yeah. Those folks have been there, man, thousands of years before these people who now claim to be Jews. Real game, bro. And again, you want to know how they get all this power? Going back to the Rothschild. You got to go understand what happened with Napoleon and the situation with Waterloo. What happened, I think it was Nathan Rothschild at that time, was one of the biggest businessmen in all Europe. He had a messenger. When Napoleon was marching on Waterloo, he had a messenger to come back and spread a false lie that Napoleon had already destroyed that city, which sent all the European financial markets into chaos. Nathan Rothschild, hey, Miss Kimberly, hey, how you doing, love? Good to glad to be here. I really love Miss Kimberly for your support. I'm going to mention that a little bit about our true supporter, because you've been there from day one. But anyway, Nathan Rothschild was able to capitalize off that chaos he caused at the Battle of Waterloo. Y'all see how much fucking history really affects what's going on today? Because at that moment, when that messenger came back with a false message saying that Napoleon had already won, which we all know he got his ass whooped at Waterloo, that caused the financial markets in Europe and pretty much all around the world to destabilize. And Nathan Rothschild was literally able to buy up 3/4 of all the wealth in Europe on the stock market for pennies on the dollar, which gave him pretty much total control of the world's wealth. Fast forward a few years later, a few years earlier than that, you see how the Rothschild initiated the Federal Reserve System? The Federal Reserve System is no more part of your government than UPS, United Parcel Service, or the IRS. None of that shit is part of your government. Those are private fucking institutions, private businesses, man. The Federal Reserve is nothing federal. What happened with that? 1912, which was, what president was it? God damn. I can't think of the president. But anyway, in 1912, the Federal Reserve Act came about where under the cover of midnight on Christmas Eve, the United States government voted to give control of its financial system to this group of private fucking bankers. And today, when they talk about giving us stimulus and all this shit like right now, I'm still waiting on that $10,000 grant that I've been approved for. It was sent to the wrong bank, sent back to these people here. Anything the Federal Reserve, IRS, other things like UPS, FedEx, that shit is not federal government at all. You and I don't pay taxes for that. But through our taxes, we pay them for their services because they are nothing more than private institutions, bro. And all that goes to say again, back to what we were really talking about. Watch what's going on in Israel. Because these people, don't even the book of Revelation in 3rd chapter talk about those who claim to be Jews, but are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. Who y'all think what generation he was talking about? And who he was talking about? He's talking about those people over there right now that's claiming to be Jews, but are of the synagogue of Satan. I give y'all a word to study. Study Zionism. And you'll understand how the Israeli government, and I'm not saying nothing against the Israeli people in per se, because really Orthodox Jews in Israel will tell you that Israel is not supposed to be a state. Yeah. Anybody that's really serious about their Hebrew faith over there will tell you the truth. And what is happening? You're witnessing a small genocide that's been going on since 1944 over in Palestine, where they took these folks' land, put them in an area, a walled off area, which is nothing more than a prison. You got 5-6 million people, man, living in probably about a 5 square mile area, bro. An open air prison where they came and took these folks' land, bro. Please, yes, ma'am, please, Miss Kimberly, please ask me to cash out, because really, I mean, we need $50. Let me show y'all what we need for. This is supposed to be my phone. Somehow the charger, I don't know where the back is. I'm trying to take it apart and work on it because that's one of my certifications that I do phones. But the way they got these phones, and I'm show y'all some real game. You know why they got these phones now where you can't take the back of it off unless you know what you're doing? Let me show you all you have to do. All you have to do, take you a heat gun and go around the top of this phone. Real, it's going to slip off. Take a razor blade and you should be able to crack it off. But on the back of them, they tell you not to try to open the phone. The real reason why they're doing this is because they don't want you to take that battery out your phone. Because that's the only way they cannot turn your phone on remotely and access your camera and microphone. Believe it or not, that's really the real reason you cannot take the back off a lot of these phones. Remember how you used to pull the phone off, pull your battery out, blow on the motherfucker, put it back in? Yeah, they stopped that because most people don't know what you don't know. Your phone can be off, but by remote control, any government, even your local police, can turn that motherfucking phone on as long as that battery in and access your camera and your microphone. Same thing with your PlayStation. You cast that little PlayStation, better start watching what you say and all that shit, because anything that has a camera. What you up to tonight, buddy? Nothing much, Damian Wallace. Actually, I'm just here, man, let everybody know that I'm back. I ain't really went nowhere, Damian. This is, I'm gonna be real. Man, I've been one of the most blessed people on the planet, man. I done went all around the world, cuz I done had more money, women, fun than a person could have. But these last 2 months have been the worst motherfucking days of my life. But they're getting better. But it's little shit like this phone breaking. So that's why I need you to help me out and have me hit that cash app, that radio free. And I even had to start a GoFundMe. Because again, we're waiting to get back into the house. We had the fire in. Small fire, but you can't get back into the house until we do all the electrical work. I'm talking about literally got to do what they call a home run. I mean, literally rewire the whole house, put a whole new a circuit panel in there. I gotta do all that. And guess what? This 10,000 is just enough. Because I got the people in place that's gonna help me do it. And we'll be home. And then they sent that 10,000 back. Gotta see the rain before the sunrise, ball. Oh yeah, I'm staying strong. I'm staying strong because I got a little bitty boy, a little son. Think about it. I'm 50. I'll be 51 years old. I got an 11-year-old son to make sure he turns out to be a man. I got 3 puppies. And that's the reason why I'm really going through a lot of shit, because I could have day one, when shit first went bad, I could have got rid of these puppies and have a place to stay right now. If I get rid of these 3 puppies right now, I go stay with my brother. I go stay with a couple of people, but who the hell gonna let you come with 3 puppies? 2 of them are under a year old and weigh down there 70 pounds already. Who the fuck gonna let you come stay? Who the fuck gonna let you bring 3 big ass dogs to their house? So I'm struggling, man. Everybody say, you crazy, man. You should have got rid of them dogs. Fuck that. I'm not getting rid of my baby. It's not their fault, but they've been through this shit with me. We've been through this shit together, and it's just a matter, I believe, 4 to 5 days, shit gonna change. Well, I know it's gonna change. Because again, anyway, I got all the way off subject. We talk about this shit later. Let's get back to the fuckery over there in the Holy Land. That shit ain't so holy over there, man. How many people have died in that motherfucker since the Bible was first created? For that land to be so holy, that shit contains so much death, destruction, fucking evil to be a holy land. I mean, look, going back to, even when you think about this, let's just give y'all some real game. They try to get on black people for practicing spiritualism or even voodoo, both of which I understand and I follow. I'm just being real. But do you realize the shit that was going on in the temple? That temple in the Old Testament going into the New Testament. Do y'all realize that was the bloodiest motherfucking place on the face of the earth in all history? Come on. Let me give you some real shit. Do y'all realize what they was literally doing every day in that temple in Israel? Man, they was killing motherfucking animals by the thousands every day. Why do you think only a certain group, the blood of Aaron, his line, the priestly order, why do you think they was the only one that could actually, that was chosen? They was the only motherfuckers that could stand all that goddamn blood. Nigga, I'm talking about cubs. Every day, probably 100 bulls, fucking countless of birds, thousands of sheep were being slaughtered in that bitch. Nothing but blood everywhere. Because in order to please that motherfucking God they worship, something had to die. Innocent shit always had to die with the God of the Bible. And again, I'm not here to judge nobody's religion, but come on, you cannot deny this. Whether you Christian, Muslim, Jew, or just some nigga that read books from all 3 of them, religion, in order for that God of that faith, that one God concept, in order for you to believe that shit, you gotta believe in a psychopathic, a sociopathic ass individual in heaven who is not satisfied unless something innocent died to pay the price for evil. Am I lying? Even if you die-hard pastors out there cannot deny this fact. Am I lying? Something innocent always had to die. Why can't you kill the motherfucking the source of the evil and the evil itself? But you would kill the innocent. That temple was bloody as fuck because all they did was sacrifice animals all goddamn day. To the point where even that same God sacrificed his